Welcome to the Life and Mission Podcast. My name is Kay Helm. This is episode 69 with my special guest, Katie Hornor. Now, if you've been listening for long, you know that Katie is one of my favorite guests. Katie is an international speaker, best-selling author, and expat entrepreneur, and she has helped millions of people through her best-selling books and her top 2% global podcast for your success. Through her faith-based mindset and business strategy coaching programs, Katie has helped over 8,000 people, including me, learn to maximize the impact of their expertise by scaling their online course and coaching businesses to 5 and 6 figures. Katie, I am so glad to have you back on the Life and Mission podcast. This is your third time here.
It's such an honor. We have so much fun every time.
I know. I love it. Always love having you as a guest. And I know we've always gotten good feedback when we've had you on before. So when we, like me, myself, and I.
You and the monkey in your pocket.
Exactly. That's it, right? Well, me and the lion. I have a lion.
Oh.
Just a lion.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous? I can't even remember what country I got it in, but there's an African lion. Now I don't know where to put him because the thing he was holding up fell over. So, okay. This is my life. This is real life here. Okay. So, yeah, Katie. So I just really do always enjoy having you on. And if people want to check that out, go back to these older episodes and I will list those in the show notes. But today we're here to talk about your new book. And your name of your book is, let me get the whole thing in here. The name of the book is Flamingo Marketing: How to Leverage Unique, Stay Relevant, and Change the World.
That's exactly right.
That's awesome. And this is like a follow-up to your Faith Like Flamingos book?
I don't know if it's a follow-up as such. Faith Like Flamingos, when it hit bestseller, it sort of created this accidental branding episode in our business to where now flamingos are a part of our brand and something that everyone always points, oh, Flamingo, Katie Hornor, like somehow they're connected. And so in thinking about, what we teach in our classes and as the foundational content for everything we do in our business, in wanting to bring that to the world in book form, it really it made sense to stick with the flamingo analogies and to really pull that in because it does express very well the foundational pieces of what we're teaching in our business and through the book.
That's true. It's so true because, as one of your students and somebody who listens to a lot of what you produce, that embracing that uniqueness, the way that God has designed you is so central to everything that you teach.
Yes. And, that really is something that gets us hung up in today's world. I was talking on another podcast with Real Life on the Prairie the other day, and we were talking about how our culture has this idea that everybody has to be equal. You've got to be the same, like everybody's got to study the same thing and get the same grades and do this. And there is no variety anymore. There's no way for us to stand out. But even though we're all created in the image of God, there is a similarity there in that we're in his image. And yet each of us is unique. Each of us is different. And God did that on purpose. We're supposed to stand out and look different from everyone else because he has specific and unique reasons for why he did that with us. And I believe it's the same for our businesses. There's things that are unique to those that can, or your ministry, whatever it is that God has put in your hands to use for his kingdom. There's unique pieces there that we need to be more confident in leveraging for his work.
Yeah, and that concept and just the mindset, you deal so much with mindset issues. And
because I've struggled so much with mindset issues.
Yeah, but so many of us do. And then we go grab all the books on the tactics. And I think a lot of times we try to hit the tactics. Like those are if I do X, Y, Z, it'll guarantee that I get, ABC out of that. And so somebody picks up, so this is a marketing book. And when somebody picks it up, if they're expecting tactics, they're going to get mindset first. So I want to ask you, why why mindset and why is it so important for our marketing? Because I'm going to tell you, don't skip the mindset part.
Your beliefs are central to everything you do. And it doesn't change when you put on your marketing hat. You do what you do and you say what you say because you believe what you believe about God and about his word and about your business or your ministry and about yourself. And so in my own growth and journey into business, as well as in the journeys of my clients and students, we have to get our beliefs straight in order for the actions to be successful. And if your beliefs are misconstrued, if they are based on false information, if they are, misunderstood or off kilter in any way, that just continues to produce error rather than results and success. And so everything that we do, I don't think, just like you can't take a pink out of a flamingo, I don't think you can take faith out of your business. And I think everything in your business has got to come back to that foundation of what does God say about this? And that's where we start. And that's what we teach. And the more that we do it, the stronger that foundation becomes, the more confidence you can have in that this is what God says. And because he says this, now I have clarity for the next step. Because he says this, now I have confidence in what he's called me to do and what he says he'll do through me. And everything is, I don't say easy, but easier and clearer in those steps that you get to take because your foundation is firm, because you're basing it on God's truth, not on culture or belief or what I've been taught or what I've always thought, but what the actual truth is.
Right. That is so true. And the peace, we sometimes we think of, and sometimes the advice is given, right? Like go with the thing that seems to, where the doors all seem to be opening or all of that thing, which it can be interpreted as take the easiest path as it comes. But I think what you're talking more about seems to be more like peace rather than ease.
Yes, and I think that's another word that our culture's misconstrued a bit is we want things to be easy and I even in scripture you see Christ saying, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. I don't know that he's talking about the actual weight of the things or the hardness of the things as much as he's talking about the spirit of it. When you know something's worth doing, when you know God has called you for this and equipped you for this and purposed you for this, it may be hard, but there's joy in it that makes it easier. There's joy in it that makes it feel light rather than difficult or heavy, and when I have clients in my business that come to me and say, this just feels heavy to me, I'm like, well, then we need to be asking where that feeling's coming from, because God said his burden is easy and light, right? What gives you joy? What lights you up? God put those things in you from the beginning, from before you were born, I believe, so that he can bring those desires to pass in your life, make those things come into existence in your life. And so if it's feeling heavy or you're feeling any kind of reluctance, like, is this of God? Is this still where God is directing me? We need to be having those questions. Come back to you, Lord, what is your purpose here? What is the next right step? And if this is what you want me to do, how do I find joy in it? How do I go forth with a feeling of joy that makes it easy even when it may be difficult?
And that we can do hard, like there's a lot of pleasure, I think, in doing hard things, tackling hard things and accomplishing hard things. If things are too easy, somehow they get boring really fast. Not that I'm against easy times.
I think we're created, we're created to create. We're created to accomplish. Yeah. I think that's part of the image of God that we're stamped with. And with differing gifts that we've been given, different things will feel harder or easier to some people. I don't mean to say that you shouldn't be desiring more or in anticipating accomplishing more, that you shouldn't have goals to accomplish big things. But I also don't believe that we have to suffer and have to sacrifice and have to have this dreaded, frowny face all the time when we're doing what God has called us to do.
That's for sure. Yeah. And that's one of the things, I've been in your classes. I've been in your live events and your live virtual events. Haven't been to the live yet, but we're
Yes.
getting there. But so a lot of us are in that world. We haven't been to the live yet, but there is a joy in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just something you're putting in the book. This is something you're living out.
Right.
And I know you've told your story on previous episodes here on podcast, and if you guys have listened to that, you've heard Katie's story, and it's a good one. It's a strong one. It's not an easy one. It's a hard path that you guys have walked, and I am really enjoying watching you guys now with the fruit that's coming from that, and the growth, and just the success, and how you're multiplying your business. And so when Katie talks about marketing, she knows her stuff. But the mindset issue, and one of the things that I've watched just in the past year or so, as you've really expanded, but you've expanded, but you've focused, like you've narrowed it down, and you're really focusing on the things that are getting you where you want to be. And you talk about this. This is a big point, and it was the point that really stood out to me the most when I read this book. Was you talk about time management, and you talk about aligning your activities.
Right.
And so I wonder if you could, I love this quote. You just said, time management begins in your heart. What do you mean by that?
Well, just like our previous comments, everything goes back to, what do you believe? And if you're going to, I don't like the word manage as well as I like the word invest. I believe time is a resource that we get to invest. And if you're going to invest your time well, it starts with, what do I believe about time? Right? Why am I here in this time? Why was I born in this generation and not 200 years ago? Why am I here right now? Why did I wake up this morning? What is it that God's got for me to do today? And how does he want me to invest this time? You can always make more money. That's a resource that's never ending. God's not broke, but none of us can make time happen again. These moments we spend together, you listening to this podcast right now, you'll never get this time back. Right. And so it's super important that we know what we believe about how we spend our time in order to invest it wisely. And, one of the things you talking about us simplifying our business in order to grow it, that was one of the things that we looked at. We were spending our time marketing 25 different online courses that were not any of them gaining traction necessarily, because it was all different topics and we weren't becoming known for any one thing that we could do. And so when we focused that down to helping Christians who are coaches and course creators grow their programs, right? We took 23 of those 25 off the market to be able to focus on 2 and added 1 in to fill a hole that we had. And now we're super focused and we're able to attract the people that need that thing and can recommend us for one thing that we do really well. And it has been able to grow, right? And so now our time is highly focused in what we're doing, and legacy focus too. Part of the reason we have Handprint Legacy as our business name is that we want the mark we make on the world, not just to impact the people I see today, but to be something that will multiply our time by being able to impact into the future. Why have I written over 50 books? Why have I created so many courses? Why do I spend the time that I do coaching and speaking and all of this? Because I want what I do to last after me. If I'm gone tomorrow, because none of us is promised tomorrow, I want the things that God invested in me and taught to me to be able to outlive me and impact my kids and my grandkids and my great grandkids and your great grandkids. Like, I want people in the future to still be able to benefit from what God has given us. And I know of no better way to do that than through mentoring and teaching and writing. And that's what we're doing in our business.
That's so cool and just see it, because it is. And Katie lives what she teaches. I can tell you that because I've been following you now and learning from you for what, 4 years, maybe longer,
Maybe more.
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, but I'm just telling you that if you pick up this book, it's called Flamingo Marketing: How to Leverage Unique, Stay Relevant. Look, there it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it.
First
It's
copy arrived
fun.
last
I
week.
mean, who doesn't want that on your bookshelf? You know?
One of our launch team members said, "Oh, your cover's so delicious."
Delicious. That's a great word for it. Yep. It's
Awesome.
fun, but I'm telling you, it's fun, but it's not lightweight. It will hit you in that mindset is so key. And I love to see that you're addressing this, and I love to see somebody with your integrity addressing this. There are plenty of things you can do for tactics, and Katie can teach you tactics too. Like, she's got the goods on that. She's got the goods on the tactics. She's got the goods on the strategies. She's got the how to, all of that. And I can tell you, as somebody that learns so much from her and is being coached by her. So, but the mindset, that's where the roadblock is for so many of us. If you've already been through the mindset stuff and you're in a good place with that, great. But seriously, pick this book up before you pick up a book on tactics, because this will set you won't go scatter on trying to do this and that and the other things and overfill your schedule. I posted on Facebook today, I put, me feels like I'm not doing enough, right? Then makes a list of what I've done. Also, me, I'm doing too much. Because really, the response from that, everybody's in my comments raising their hands, me too, me too. It's exactly how my life is, and I feel seen, those types of comments. And, so if you're shaking your head at that, then get this book, start dealing with the mindset, and but take the time. I mean, I just finished reading it recently, yesterday, and I'm going to go back, especially to the later chapters where there's actually some exercises, and you've put exercises on every chapter, really. So this is not just read it and forget it. This is read it, do the work, and really get the change that you need.
Well, the teacher in me has to have an assignment somewhere, right? So
this is true.
Getting all of those different learning styles in. But yes, there is a reflection exercise at the end of each of the chapters, and another a little bit larger one at the end of the book, because we don't want you just to learn and absorb. We're not sponges, we're souls. And we need to be able to take what we've learned and apply it. And if you don't take a moment to process what you've learned and to sit down and ask the question, like, okay, based on this new information, what change do I need to make? If you don't process that, you may lose that window, and the enemy will distract you. And, that becomes a debilitating factor that keeps you from coming back to this. And so, we do hope that you'll take time to do those exercises as you read through, and that you'll really let God work in your heart through this.
Yeah, it will. It'll be amazing. Amazing. So, Katie, the book is about to come out in July. Tell us about that and how they can get it.
Yeah. So July 13th is our official release date. You can get the pre-order on Kindle right now for a pre-release early bird special price, and it'll drop to your Kindle on July 13th. You can also order a print copy pre-order. We've got a special bonus package set up at freeflamingobook.com. So freeflamingobook.com. It's a free book. We're just asking you to pay shipping. And then we've got a special bonus package for those who order before launch date on July 13th. But we're really excited to get this into as many hands as possible. And if you know someone else who's a believer in business or a believer wanting to get into business, this makes a great gift. It makes a great recommendation. It's been endorsed by people like Dan Miller of 48 Days to the Work You Love, and lots of our clients and students. And we're really, really excited to get this just into as many hands as possible.
Well, congratulations, Katie. And I know you'll hit that bestseller list again. And
We hope
looking
so.
forward to that. And thank you so much for being on the Life and Mission podcast.
Thank you for all you do.
If you'd like to hear more from Katie Hornor, I have 2 other episodes where I interviewed her, and that would be episode 35 and episode 17. So if you want to find those on the lifeandmission.com website, just put lifeandmission.com/ and then the episode number. So it's episodes 35 and 17 are my other 2 interviews with Katie Hornor. Check out her new book. It's Flamingo Marketing, How to Leverage Unique, Stay Relevant, and Change the World. You can get it on pre-order now. It comes out on July 13th. Until then, this is the Life and Mission Podcast. I'm Kay Helm. Find your voice, tell your story, change the world.